Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech Weekend Edition. Is the next iPhone going to be screenless? Is Amazon about to lock down your Fire Stick? Can Google finally fix its smart home mess? Is your smart ring secretly a fire hazard? And how in the world is Tesla planning to build a $25,000 car? We're diving into all of it this week in the AI Gamble and Hardware Wars.
All right, here's what's on deck. We've got the screenless AI gamble, Amazon's big move into your home, Google's smart home reckoning, a warning about your smart ring, and the mystery of Tesla's $25,000 car. Let's jump right in. Okay, first up, what do you get when you mix the brain behind ChatGPT, that's Sam Altman, with the design legend who gave us the iPhone, Johnny Ive? Well, you get one of the most secretive and maybe one of the most ambitious projects in Silicon Valley right now.
So get this, they're not building another smartphone. No, the vision here is something else entirely. Imagine a device that fits in your palm, but it has no screen at all. Instead of you tapping on glass, it uses cameras and mics to see and hear your world. The goal? To be a true AI companion that actually gets you, that anticipates what you need before you even ask. I mean, the dream is pretty amazing, right? A piece of tech that's less of a tool and more like a helpful friend. But the reality is a little more complicated. Sources are saying the project, which was supposed to launch next year, has hit some major hurdles. Yeah, and it really comes down to three massive challenges. First up, raw computing power. A source close to Johnny Ive basically said, look, OpenAI is already scrambling to get enough power just to run ChatGPT. How are they going to power a brand new, always-on device? Good question. Second, you've got to get the AI's personality just right. You know, helpful but not creepy or annoying. And finally, they absolutely have to avoid what happened to the Humane AI pin, which, let's be honest, tried something kind of similar and just flopped hard.
So, while OpenAI is chasing this one perfect minimalist gadget, our next story is about a company doing the exact opposite. We're talking about Amazon. They're not going for minimalism, they're launching an all-out invasion, trying to put their AI in every single room of your house.
So at their big September event, they just unleashed this flood of new products. The big headliner is Alexa Plus, which is their new super smart generative AI assistant. But backing it up is a whole army of new Echoes, new Ring devices, a redesigned Kindle Scribe, and a very interesting new Fire TV stick.
And this new Fire Stick really shows the kind of trade-off Amazon wants you to make. On the one hand, it's cheap, only $40. Can't argue with that. But here's the catch. It runs on a new system called Vega OS, and it blocks you from sideloading apps. That means you can't install anything that's not in Amazon's own app store. They say it's for security, but
for a lot of people, this is a total deal breaker. For years, being able to sideload was the killer feature, especially for cord cutters. The tech site TroyPoint didn't pull any punches either. They straight up called it the beginning of the end for Fire Stick devices. Why? Because it takes away the one thing that made them so popular in the first place.
okay, but while the Fire Stick news caused a bit of an uproar, another new Amazon device is getting a much warmer welcome. We're talking about the new Kindle Scribe, especially the color version. And it really shows how a small change can make a huge difference. Just listen to this Reddit user, Mad Saw, who said, I never thought seeing the covers in color would make such a difference, but as someone who is a mood reader, it really does. See? It's those little things that connect with us emotionally.
All right, we've seen Amazon's hardware blitz. Now it's turned to Google, who's basically trying to do a massive cleanup job. I mean, let's be real. For years, the Google Home ecosystem has been kind of a mess, right? Bugs, features disappearing. But now, Google is promising that its super powerful Gemini AI is here to save the day. So here's the official line from Google. They're rolling out Gemini for Home, and they're saying, hey, this isn't just another update. They promise it'll actually understand what's going on in your house, understand you, and make everything way more helpful and intelligent. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the problem. Google is facing a huge trust issue. After years of what feels like neglect and broken promises, people are just skeptical. This comment from a Reddit user named Nutty Sweet just nails it. It's that feeling of, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm just not buying your stuff anymore. People feel like they've been burned before. And this next quote from another user, Happy Sabi, is pretty raw, but I think a lot of people can relate. They said they feel like the whole thing has been, well, enshittificated. It's a word that author Cory Doctorow uses to describe how tech platforms just seem to get worse and worse over time. And that feeling, that deep frustration, is exactly the mountain Gemini has to climb.
You know, as all these companies are racing to cram more and more power into smaller and smaller gadgets, there's a real physical risk we have to talk about. I mean, everything we've looked at today, AI companions, smart speakers, they all run on lithium-ion batteries. And as those batteries get tinier and live right on our bodies, like in a smart ring, well, a recent incident is raising some pretty serious safety questions.
The danger here is something called thermal runaway. It sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. If a lithium-ion battery gets damaged, it can start a chain reaction. It gets hot, which makes the reaction go faster, which makes it even hotter. It's this vicious cycle that can spiral out of control and lead to smoke, fire, or worse.
And look, this isn't just some theory from a science textbook. This stuff happens, and the consequences can be absolutely devastating. We've all seen the stories about fires started by e-bike or scooter batteries that just rip through entire homes. It's a scary reminder of how much power is packed into these tiny things.
Okay, but the good news is you can lower the risk. Experts have 5 pretty simple tips for all your gadgets. 1, always use the right charger that came with it. 2, keep your stuff out of extreme heat, like a hot car in the summer. 3, charge on a hard surface, like a desk, not your bed or the couch. 4, don't just leave things plugged in for days at a time. And 5, it's actually better to top up your battery often instead of letting it die completely and then charging it all the way to 100% every time.
All right, for our last story, we're shifting gears. Literally. We're moving from personal tech to what is basically the holy grail for the entire auto industry, a truly affordable electric car for everyone. And of course, all eyes are on Tesla to see if they can finally crack the code. And the challenge here is just enormous. Right now, the average new EV in the US will set you back more than 55 grand. Tesla's goal for their next big car, to get that price all the way down to $25,000. I mean, that is a massive, massive price gap to close.
So how on earth is that even possible? Well, it's not one single magic trick, it's a bunch of really radical changes to how they build cars. They're using these giant gigacasting machines, which shaves off about $2,800. Then there's this new unboxed manufacturing process that saves another $1,300. Cheaper batteries knock off another $2,400. All that gets you down to around $32,500. And then, if you can get the US tax credit, boom, you hit that magic $25,000 number.
And a huge piece of the puzzle is just redesigning the car from scratch to be cheaper to make. They're literally eliminating entire chunks of the car's body, like the old-school battery box, but using smarter engineering. It's simple, really. Less material and fewer steps on the assembly line means a lower price tag. It's a complete rethink of how you even build a car.
So when you step back and look at all of it, a screenless AI friend, a smart home that's driving people crazy, wearables that could be dangerous, and a revolutionary affordable car, it all kind of boils down to one big thing. We know that tech can do amazing stuff. That's not the question anymore. The real question is, who can we actually trust to get it right? Who can deliver on all these promises without messing up our safety, our privacy, or just the experience of using the darn thing? That right there is the battle that's going to define the next few years in tech. If you enjoyed the episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.